What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Check it out. I'm Rob Odie. I'm in Studio 39, aka the Bear Cave. It's Wednesday night, man. You already know what it is. It's Spotlight 39 live. That's right. I'm gonna be joined by my co-host Brandon from 247 Sports. Just like every week, we got another special guest. We have some technical difficulties, so we may be joined by our second guest. We'll find out. But nonetheless, hit the subscribe button. Support the brand. More importantly, support these kids. Follow us on all social media: YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I don't think I missed one. If I did, find us, man. We're easy. So without further ado, let's bring on my guy. It's the man, the myth, the legend, the co-host. It's Brandon Howard, man. How you feeling? If I can get you to come up. Bang. Technical difficulties on the switcher, but here we are. How you
It's
feeling?
all good. No, I feel good. I feel good. I like the build up. It's incredible, but I think the player we have on tonight and potentially the players we have on tonight are way more exciting than me. They're actually the reason that me exists.
Yeah, no, I would not disagree. And so the young man we got in the green room, right? We're gonna make him wait just a minute or two, right? Because we got to hype him up a little bit. But this is a young man that I got the pleasure of hearing about, probably a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, from a good friend, Coach Raw, down in the A. And he said, "Look, man, this kid AJ Harris, it's a name that's going to be very familiar very soon. Keep an eye out." I was like, "All right." Within 30 days, that's when he started seeing. Blessed to have the conversation and blessed with the opportunity to play football here, and it's like bang, 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 domino effect, right? And then we got to watch, and like you said offline, bang, the commitment. Where'd it come from, right? Where'd he commit
Yes,
to?
sir.
He went to UGA, right?
Yeah.
And he had pretty much a laundry list of every program in the nation to choose from, to the point where I'm sure he probably got tired of having some of these conversations. But we'll find out. So
Frankly, before you jump to him,
let's do it.
just remembering kind of a recruiting process similar to, but a little bit different. Uh, a kid by the name of Michael Williams who had the same effect. Uh, Another five-star prospect where Georgia was out of it, and he was committed to USC, and then out of the blue he commits to
Bang.
Georgia. Same situation I feel like with Harris, where murmurs, rumors, I mean everything kind of but Georgia for months, and then things kind of went quiet, and I found that interesting, and then suddenly out of the blue, Kirby, Fran Brown, and Muschamp and company, strike, and I think
Yeah.
in regard of what that did for the class, I believe as of today, Georgia picked up 10 commitments in the month of July, so it says a lot about his leadership and his prowess.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fun to watch, the random Kirby Smart post, right? Go dogs. And then when you see that, you kind of scrounge like, oh man, who they get now? Who they get now, right? And what was it? A couple of days ago, they got a young man on special teams. Everybody was like, who'd he get? Who'd he get? Had to do a little digging. So it's always fun, right? But look, I got to plug the All American Cleat Drive. I tend to forget this, man. I get too excited about the guest. So let me bring this up real quick. It's the All American Cleat Drive. We got a little bit of time left running July 31st. Spotlight39.com. Help put cleats on kids' feet that are in need. It's that simple. If you can't donate, no harm, no foul, but a simple share really does go a long way. So, now that he's adjusted his camera, let's bring on the guest, man. Let's find out who it is. Bang, there he is. So, we got our guy, AJ Harris. Unfortunately, CJ Allen, who was scheduled to be on tonight, having some technical difficulties. Hopefully, we can get that squared away and we can run that back with him another night. But tonight, we're just going to focus on AJ, man. So go ahead, formally tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do, and anything else you want us to know, because this is your intro.
I'm AJ Harris, class of 2023, attending Central, Phoenix City, Alabama. Um, I'm happy to be on tonight. Like you said, you know, we've known each other for a while, but really haven't got to sit down and have a conversation. So it'd be nice to conversate with you tonight, along with your co-host.
Yeah, man. It's I'll share the quick story, right? Coach Raw put me on like a year and a half and said this dude's gonna be special. Here we are, man. A year and a half later, one of the top recruits in the country, committed to the defending champions, University of Georgia, right? So Brandon,
Go
where do we want to
dogs.
start? What? Oh, he does with the Kirby Smart. Go dogs, right? So Brandon, where do we want to start,
Yes,
man? You
sir.
you pick the subject matter, and we're gonna get this conversation going.
Well, I think you start with the most important thing and the biggest elephant in the room. Tennessee has a lot of momentum. We had some Tennessee guys on last week, and they said commit to the T, which I thought was very interesting because the only T that I know people commit to, it usually isn't a T, it's a G. And so, you behind the scenes, probably a little bit more so than the front ground are known as a recruiter, kind of, especially with Pierce. Talk about potentially some targets that you have in mind and, what committing to the G ultimately meant to you yourself.
Committing to the G, it's something that was special to me because a lot of people don't know. When I first moved to the States, because I was mostly raised in Germany. When I first moved to the States, I moved to Columbus, Georgia, and down here is Georgia, Alabama, and Auburn. But Georgia happened to be the first school I fell in love with. The first school I ever camped for when I was in the 7th grade. The first ever college football game I ever went to was the University of Georgia. So I feel like it was forever. It was already written in stone for me to attend the G. That's what I feel. Um, to me, Georgia's just a special place. I feel like all the top players go to the G. So but I we've put together a great defensive recruiting class thus far. Sadly, my boy Caleb Downs went to Alabama, but I wish him the best. But right now, I feel really confident with the class that we have right now. Still looking to fill a few gaps, but right now, my main target is Samuel attending IMG, and I've been on him every day. It seems like I drove up to Georgia just to meet him in person. Just
Oh,
cause Georgia's not that far, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna meet him in person when it was open, and got the opportunity to meet him. But
hold
really,
on. So you drove, what was that, hour and a half, 2 hours for you?
yeah, 2 hours.
Yeah, so 2 hours because you're just outside of Auburn, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so 2 hours to meet this young man in person,
Yes, sir.
like not knowing that he's going to commit or not. You wanted to put face to face and say, hey, look, man, commit to the G.
Yep. I got to meet Samuel. Got to talk to Kelby, but Samuel is definitely a priority for me. I had to meet him face to face, just to show him that it's truly love for him at the G.
He said, "Look, man, I like the reference. So look, let's have some fun real quick, man. Let's take this opportunity, right? And we can cut this little piece out and we'll blast it on social media. I want you to do your best sales pitch or recruiting pitch or whatever you want to do, and call out Samuel by name and tell him why he needs to come to the G.
Samuel, we've talked about this. The G, the first round first round you seen last year's draft. You seen what we're bringing in, and you're gonna see this year. You could be a part of something special. We're gonna be the class to win another national championship, and the G's where it is. It's much more than just football. It's a brotherhood. You'll be loved. You'll be taken care of like family, and the G's where you need to be.
Look, man, I think he's done that a few times. You got that wrote down somewhere?
No, that's off the dome.
I like it, man. I like it. So Samuel is the target. That's the target. Do we have a target commitment date? I haven't pulled up his Twitter, but does he have a
Yeah, I
commitment
feel like
date
he's
yet?
I'm not sure, but I'm believing it's sometime during the season.
Okay.
yeah.
So it's going to be coming soon, man. So with that, you talked about the recruiting and all that, but what goes as a group? Because the Tennessee dudes, they kind of gave us the group text and all that stuff. What do you guys got? As now that you're committed, right? What do you do? What communication do you have with the other commits? For I was going to have CJ, find out if you guys have even met, or would this have been y'all's first conversation together? I'm just curious as to what type of communication you guys have as commits, and then what you guys communicate on trying to get others to commit, other than obviously you being the best recruiter in the nation right now.
Well, we do. Of course, we have a group chat. We have a iMessage group chat, and it I like the way that like we have it set up because I've talked to everybody that's committed. I've talked to CJ. We were actually on our OV together, but
Okay.
once we committed it, once you commit to the G, it's a group chat that we add you in. We just say welcome in the new member to the G, welcome them like family, and it'll start a whole conversation, and everybody will just get in the group chat and just start talking, conversating, whatever's going on. We'll talk about it. So I definitely like the relationship that we've built with people in the class. I feel very comfortable with them because I've had multiple conversations with them outside of the football aspect as well.
No, man, that's super cool. And look, this is I'm gonna let Brandon grab the next subject, but this I just thought of this, man. So you're going after Samuel, right? He's at IMG. You guys got IMG on the schedule, right? Week 10 or 11,
Yes,
something
sir.
like that, late in the season. What's that gonna look like, man?
Uh,
If he's committed to the G, what's that gonna look like? But then on the flip side, if he's not, what's it gonna look like?
the same if he's committed or not.
I love it.
Sadly
Good
that's
answer.
just how it has to go. You know, when you step on the field, it's business. Once we're both at the G together, then we can focus on beating whoever's across the line from us. Then, but as long as he's at IMG, I gotta take care of business. I gotta oppose my will, oppose my dominance. I got that it's mandatory.
I like it. I like it. So what's the next subject, man? What do we want to tackle next? This is a good conversation.
Well, I guess two part. One, where since I know you kind of have some perks, knowing probably a person who was in the group text before you were with Pierce. Were you in the group text before you committed, or did you only get added to the group text after you committed? First question.
It was after I committed. Pierce. Actually, it might have been before. It might have been before. I think because I think I told Pierce almost before everybody else just because uh I've been camping with Pierce since I was in like the seventh grade. Like that's my guy. So it may have been before, but the group chat is for commits only. Like, but we everybody. I feel like everybody reaches out to who we want individually just to get their take on it. Have a conversation with them personally and things like that.
Okay, that's cool.
I got you. Well, then the second part of my question is, having been a name that's been thrown around for years, as far as just the upside and the ability on the field, how would you describe your game? And is there anybody you model your game after, or is it simply just AJ Harris models his game after AJ Harris?
Um, I would like to say that I don't model my game after anybody. I watched a lot of film on everybody, the late greats to people who are dominant now. Uh, Charles Woodson, Champ Bailey, uh, the new my guy J.C. Horn, uh, Stephon Gilmore. I watch film on everybody, and I just see what they do well, and I just feel like I put my own game together, play it with my own type of swag. But I would like to say that I'm a very aggressive corner. I could play anywhere in the back end. Um, have great football IQ, especially with being at a school like Central, with coaches that have been everywhere. Just being able to expand my football mind and what I know about the game, what I know about the defense, the back end. I just feel like I'm an all around great DB, a great football player, a great teammate, a leader, and that's how I would like to describe myself.
I like it. So with not necessarily modeling your game, right? So you said you watch film on some of the greats. Who do you train with, man? I feel like it's important that you shout that out because you don't just train
Oh,
with anybody, right?
most definitely. I train with Oliver Davis, but a lot of people don't know. I have a trainer down here locally named Damian Daniels.
Perfect.
He doesn't get as much credit because he's not in the mainstream. He just trains and he just keeps it at that. But Damien has been training me since I was in the sixth grade. He set the foundation. But definitely those are my two trainers, Damien and Oliver Davis. In the weight room, Chasing is my guy. He's been training me since I was in like the fifth grade. So those are my three guys until I'm done with football.
Okay, and Davis, right? He trains J.C. Horn, right?
Oliver Davis, yes sir,
Yeah. So have you got to train with Horn?
yes sir. I've got to train with him, and he's got to share some wisdom with me. Uh, and just being around those guys, I've got to train around multiple pros, Michael Parsons, Elijah Moore, etc. And but JC was definitely my favorite. That's definitely a corner that I've looked up to. Just when you talk about mentality, how somebody approaches the game, just being fearless on the field, and just having technique. That's my guy. I truly I got a lot of love for JC.
That's awesome, man. So let's kind of shift gears, right?
Yes
Coming,
sir.
being a nationally recognized commit, right? Consensus, what, 5-star across the board? I think maybe one of them's got you at 4-star. But nonetheless, man, you're a household name, right? People know who AJ Harris is, and with that comes NIL opportunities and things like that. We touched on it, last couple of weeks. I'm just curious as to what, if any, role NIL had for you in your decision to make the commitment to Georgia, and then what does it mean for you going forward? Like, what are you looking forward to with the opportunity now that NIL is even a thing?
I'm so glad that you asked that question. Because a lot of people throughout that have followed my recruitment process didn't really hear much about Georgia until I committed. So therefore that causes speculation of why the G, not knowing that I've been wanting to go to G the whole time.
I mean, I
It's
personally,
just
I thought North Carolina had an opportunity. Coach Blau, the fan
that's
base
my
there was coming heavy.
guy.
So
Yeah, but NIL had nothing to do with my recruitment whatsoever. People don't know that literally once Fran Brown got the job, we talked every day,
oh wow,
every single day, and that's no exaggeration. Coach Fran talked to me every day, and nothing was forced. That's the only coach I could say I've talked to and felt like I could just be myself. I feel like he can develop me. Cause I mean, if you come from the little schools like Rutgers, which are not little schools, they're still D1 schools, but they don't get as much as publicity.
yeah,
But like if you develop people from Rutgers and Baylor, and you still have people that's in the league,
yeah.
that means you can take my talent and develop me, and I would definitely be in the league. And I trust him with that. I trust Coach Kirby. I've been there, wanting to be there the whole time. Coach Frank was just the best hire. They actually started recruiting me, but NIL doesn't mean anything to me. Um, and a lot of kids say that NIL don't mean nothing because that's just what everybody say. But realistically, nothing compares to the money you'll make if you keep your head down and you make it to the NFL and you get to your second contract and beyond that. So that's really been my focus, just seeing where I can go get developed at. And I believe just the plan that Fran has laid out for me, I trust him. I trust him. NIL doesn't mean anything. I mean, is it cool? Yes, it is. It is definitely cool. So when you get on campus, you can make money from your name, but that's not my priority. I will actually let my parents handle that because I'm not really into that. Just because if I stay focused and keep the main thing, I know that I'll be where I want to be and I make way more money than I would have made if I went to school for NIL.
Look, man, we can hit you with 100,000. As soon as you get on campus, right, and you live like a rock star, and maybe make some poor decisions, and then that might alter, the decision and possibility of making it to the league, right? Whereas if
Exactly.
you
You
keep the
you
mind
making
straight, bang,
you
so
making the money for the biggest thing is don't the just kids not picking schools for money. Uh, to me, that's not really wise. So for me, it just made sense to be at Georgia where I'd be developed. I'm or I was raised in Columbus, Georgia since I've been in the States. It fits me the best.
okay, I like it, man. So what else we want to talk about, Brandon? We done hit the subjects that I had marked down, but this is a good conversation, man. What else we want to talk about?
I mean, he definitely, you're impressive. It's been great talking to you. What do you do outside of football just to relax? I mean, with
Yeah,
kind of like the All American status and whatnot, there's just a lot of fluff that comes with it. What do you do to get away from that?
for surely get away from my phone. I don't like being on my phone when I'm not, when it's not business involved. But just I enjoy spending time with my family, my mom, my dad, my grandma, my brothers. Because at the end of the day, those are the people that just make me remember, like, you're not a 5 star all the time. Like, you're still, like, in my mom's eye, you're still my baby boy. I'm the youngest of two older brothers. And it feels good to not just be a football player in everybody's eyes all the time. So I enjoy spending time with family. Me and my brother are just now starting to, bowl, learning how to actually bowl and things like that. uh Cooking, I enjoy cooking and things of that nature, but just being with family and just enjoying life and taking everything for what it actually is.
Yeah, man. I think your pops, man. He's a fantastic advocate for everything that you represent because he be on Twitter, something serious, man, sharing all kinds of stuff. Y'all's journey on all the recruiting trails, taking pictures and stuff, man. It's been pretty cool to just kind of watch it unfold, and then here we are. You're about to roll into your senior season, right? Play some
Yes,
ball,
sir.
go to war with your brothers one last time, and then bang, we're off to Georgia. When are we going to ride the full senior year, or are we going there early?
Oh, early for sure. Early for sure. I got 5 more months.
But
Five
look, the
more months.
countdown's on,
That
right?
time, I'm locked in. Of course, I gotta handle business with the school first, with Central. We gotta go back to state. We gotta win this time. But
Okay.
I'm ready to be a dog. Uh, and like you said, you talked about my dad. Just being along this recruitment process. My dad and my mother. They mean the world to me. Um, they sacrificed so much for me to go on so many visits. Like, I went on way more visits than the typical recruit would take. They made sure that I gathered all the information I needed to make my decision. And I would personally like to shout out to my mom and my dad just for just sacrificing, because I know they didn't want to be on the road all the time. They didn't want to catch flights to go to Ohio State and North Carolina and all the other schools that we visited. I truly thank them for everything that they've did for me.
Yeah, man. Definitely shout out to your parents. They've raised a great young man. I mean, this conversation has been nothing but phenomenal. Exactly what I envisioned. When we locked this thing in, I was like, you know what, like. If he's anything like his social media, if he's anything like his pops on social media, and if he's anything that my guy Coach Ross says he is, he's a great young man. So I think you exemplified exactly just that. So look, you kind of did a little bit of it already, but we got to do it formally, right? We always close it out with giving you the opportunity to return the love, and shout out anybody and everybody that's been there along your journey, right? So whether it's family, friends, coaches, trainers, guidance counselors, whoever it is that's been there, shout them out, return some love, and shout them out by name, man. It's always nice to hear their name.
I got you. I will. It's tough because it's so many people to shout out that have been with me on this process, throughout this process, and still going through this process of greatness. But I already said my mom and dad, but my brothers, Daniel Harris and Darrell Harris, for just making me tough at an early age when I wasn't the best, having my bad days. They were always there for me, and I love them always for that. My friends who were with me before I had the offers, Aaron Burton, Lamont Burton, Neville, uh, Jacoby, Kai. It's so many people that have been with me on this process. Oliver Davis, Chasen, Damian Daniels, Coach Nix at Central, all the whole Central coaching staff. Thank you for welcoming me with open arms when I got to Central, and just showing me what being the standard is every day. Just holding me to a high standard, getting me ready for college, and it's just so many shout outs. Like if you're in my corner and you support me, I truly I have a lot of love for you, and I shout you out and thank you.
I like it, man. I like it. Super humble young man. You got anything else for him, Brandon? We gonna let him get out of here.
No, no. Great meeting you. Heard a lot of good things about you. Obviously, your game speaks for itself, and obviously, you know how to end this the right way, right?
Yes, sir. On the 7A stage.
Yep.
Let's go. In the words of Kirby Smart, what's he say?
Go dogs.
Close this thing out.
Sounds good.
Spotlight 39, 39 hearts. Appreciate y'all.